Bank reconciliation statement. Bank reconciliation statement. Okay. Now, what's a bank? What's a bank? Come on, quickly. It's a revision class. What is a bank?
Financial institutions.
Okay, it's a bank. It's a bank, which is a financial institution. Okay. What's its main business? Okay, what is the business of a bank? What is the business of a bank?
Accepting the deposits and withdrawals.
Business of a bank is to, yeah, to, business of the bank is to accept the deposits. Okay, accept the deposits, right? Then advance the loans. That's a business of the bank. Okay, then who are the people involved here? People involved. People, who are the people involved? Okay, when you're talking about BRS, there's a businessman. Okay, there's a businessman, and there is a bank. Okay, there's a bank, right? Then what the businessman prepares? Businessman records the business transactions. Okay, businessman records business transactions. Okay, in cash book, right? Then bank records the transactions. Okay, bank records the transactions in passbook. Okay, bank records in passbook. Now, every time the cash comes in, okay, every time the cash comes in, okay, he will add it. Now, how he adds the cash comes in, he will debit it to the cash book, right? Right? Cash book. All cash receipts are debited to cash book, and all cash payments are credited to cash book. Okay, all minus are credited. Right? Do you remember this? Do you remember this? When cash debited, when cash goes out, it is credited in the cash book, and that is done by the cashier of the business organization, or businessman does it. Okay, every time the cash comes in, that is debited in the cash book. Every time the cash is paid or goes out, it is credited in the cash book. Okay, now when it comes to the bank, every time every time every time the cash is deposited by the customer into the bank, the banker, okay, what he does, the banker credits to his account, and whenever the customer or the businessman is withdrawing money, okay, he will debit to his account, debit to his account debit to his account. All cash withdrawals are deducted. How they are deducted? By debiting to the passbook. By debiting to the passbook. All cash deposits are credited to the passbook. Listen once again. All cash withdrawals are deducted by debiting to the passbook. All cash deposits are added by crediting to the passbook. Clear? Any confusion till here?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Okay, now let's say as per cash book, okay, the debit balance means what? Is it favorable balance, positive balance, or negative balance? Debit balance means the debit side of the account shows more than the credit side of the account. Credit balance means the credit side of the account shows more balance than the debit side of the account. If credit side is in excess, then we say the account shows credit balance. If debit side is in excess of credit side, then we say account shows debit balance. Okay. Now let us say if there's a problem, the cash book shows a debit balance. If that is the sentence given to you, you confront with that sentence in a question paper. What does it mean? It is a favorable balance. The debit side balance means debit side is more than the credit side, which means your receipts are more than the payments, which is favorable. Correct? Which is favorable. Okay. Then passbook. When you come to passbook, the credit side total, if it is more than the debit side total, then we say credit balance. What is the meaning of credit balance? As per passbook, credit balance means it is positive balance, because every time you deposit in your account, the banker credits to your account. Okay. Passbook credit balance is favorable. Okay. Passbook credit balance is favorable. Cash book debit balance is favorable. Got it? The opposite is credit balance. Okay. Credit balance as per cash book. Overdraft. You have drawn more than what you have deposited. Your withdrawals are more than your deposits, right? That is the meaning of overdraft. Okay. Cash book shows a credit balance means what? Cash book shows overdraft. You have withdrawn more than what you have deposited. Passbook shows debit balance means what? You have withdrawn more than what you have deposited. You deposited 1 lakh, you have withdrawn 2 lakhs. So 1 lakh is the overdraft. Passbook debit balance 1 lakh means your overdraft is over and above what you have deposited is 1 lakh. Okay, that's an overdraft. Any confusion here? Please let me know. Any confusion here?
No, sir.
Okay. Right. Then we'll take an example. Let us just take a small example. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take cash book. Or I'll do one thing, okay, just to make comparison. Mhm. Yeah, I'll do one thing. Look at this one. This is your cash book, let's say. Okay. And this is your passbook. Okay. All right. This is debit side. This is credit side. This is debit side. This is credit side. Okay. Right. Let's say you have deposited 1 lakh. When you deposited 1 lakh, okay, what is this? This is addition to your cash balance. All right. Out of that, you have withdrawn 20,000. When you withdraw 20,000 or issue check of 20,000, what happens? To that extent, the balance comes down. Okay. To that extent, the balance comes down. Right. Then what is the remaining balance? The remaining balance is 80,000. Okay, 80,000. Now tell me whether this 80, yeah, this is carried down, no? This is carried down. Okay, this is carried down balance, right? And this is your minus. This is negative. You have withdrawn. Okay, you have deposited, you have withdrawn. Okay, and this is your balance remaining. What is this balance remaining? The carried down is 80,000. Is it a debit balance or credit balance? Is it a debit balance or credit balance? Quickly, quickly. And the same is brought down here. The same is brought here and said carried, brought down. Okay, brought down. Okay, what is this? 80,000. It is the excess of debit side, okay, over the credit side. The credit side total is only 20,000. Debit side total is 1 lakh. Okay, the excess of debit total is 80,000. Debit side total is 80,000 more than the credit side. Okay, then the balance is yeah, 80,000. What is this? The account shows, we say the account shows a debit balance of 80,000. That means cash book has a balance of 80,000. Cash book has a balance of 80,000. Let's come to passbook and see the scenario. When you deposited 1 lakh, the banker, okay, the banker will add 1 lakh. Okay, and where does he record it? On the credit side of your account, right? Now to that you have withdrawn, let's say you have withdrawn 20,000, and when you withdraw 20,000, you know, he will deduct 20,000. He will deduct 20,000, and that he will do it by debiting to your passbook. 20,000 debited. And what's the total of, what is the total of, yeah, what's the total of debit side? 1 lakh. Total of credit side 20,000, right? Now there is a balancing figure, no? 80,000. 80,000 balancing figure. What is this? This is a carried down balance, right? This is a carried down balance. Balancing figure. Balancing figure. 80,000. Okay. Now tell me whether the account shows debit balance or credit balance. The account shows credit balance. The credit side is 1 lakh, whereas the debit side is 20,000. The difference is 80,000, and this difference is excess of credit over the debit side total. Okay, the same is brought on to the credit side, okay, as balance brought down. Okay, so balance brought down 80,000. Now, as per passbook, the account shows, okay, a credit balance of 80,000. As per cash book, the account shows a debit balance of 80,000. What is that we understand? What is debit in the cash book? What is debit in the cash book is credit in the passbook. Okay, cash book debit balance means favorable balance. Passbook credit balance means favorable balance, not an overdraft. Yes, please let me know if there are any confusions. Please let me know if there are any. Do you understand? When you're depositing in the cash book, it's addition, debit to the cash book. Okay, when you're withdrawing, then it is credited to the cash book. Now, cash book means, remember, it is only the bank column of the cash book. Okay, not the entire cash book. We are doing only bank reconciliation statement. We are trying to reconcile the bank column of the 3-column cash book with the passbook of the bank. Okay, right. So every time you deposit, you are debiting to the cash book. Every time you are withdrawing, crediting to the cash book. And The same is done with an opposite treatment in the passbook. Every time you deposit money, it is credited in the passbook. Every time you are withdrawing money, credited in the passbook, debited in the passbook. Okay, deducted in the passbook through debit. Okay, right. Let us say you have deposited 80,000. Okay, that's an addition. Then later on, another 20,000 you have deposited. It's 20,000. Okay, that's an addition. And the total should come to 1 lakh. Okay, 1 lakh is the 1 lakh is the carried down balance. Okay, let's say 1 lakh is the carried down balance. 1 lakh is the carried down balance. 1 lakh is the carried down balance. Okay. Now the same is brought down here. Okay. Let's look at the same thing. Okay. Now, out of this 20,000 deposit check, okay, actually it should be same, no? It should be same, right? 80,000, 80,000, 80,000 and 20,000. Okay, 20,000. Right? What is debited here is credited here. What is, there's nothing on the credit side. Okay, so we have taken full 1 lakh as credit balance, right? You know, this 1 lakh is the 1 lakh is the total balance, cash book balance, you know, the favorable balance. Okay, but when it comes to passbook, this 20,000 worth check is not deposited or deposited but not credited in the passbook. When it is not credited, when it is not recorded, this 20,000 is not appearing. This 20,000 is not appearing. When this 20,000 is not appearing, okay, what happens according to the passbook? The balance as per passbook is 1 lakh favorable balance, but balance as per passbook is okay only 80,000. This 20,000 is not, you know, appearing here. It should have been appearing, but this is not appearing. Okay, so as a result, your balance shown is only 80,000. Carried down balance is only 80,000, and the same is brought down as 80,000. Okay, what is this? What is this? There's a check deposited but not credited in the passbook. When check is deposited, the cashier recorded on the debit of the cash book. Same thing should have been credited in the passbook, but that's not done. Because of that, due to that, the cash book balance shows a favorable balance of 1 lakh, but the passbook balance shows just a favorable balance of 80,000. Okay, 80,000. Right? There is a mismatch, right? Such kind of mismatch takes place between the cash book and the passbook due to communication gap. Therefore, we have to reconcile. We have to reconcile the cash book with the passbook, and for which we prepare a statement. Therefore, it is bank reconciliation statement. It is a bank reconciliation statement. Now, before we try to attempt, okay, to prepare the reconciliation statement, bank reconciliation statement, we will see what are the reasons which are causing the difference between passbook and cash book. Okay, reasons for mismatch between, okay, between cash book and passbook. Cash book and passbook. Okay, cash book, right? Okay, and passbook. Okay, what are the reasons? Can you make out the reasons? Yes, can you make out the reasons? Yeah, this is one theory question also. Yeah, number one, one theory question. If you attempt this reasons for mismatch between cash book and passbook, you're learning theory question and also easy for working out the problems. Okay, checks deposited. Okay, checks deposited, but not collected, not credited. In some problems it is given collected in some problems. Okay, checks deposited but not credited. Okay, this is one reason. Right, checks deposited but not collected, one reason. Okay, now what happens, look at this, we'll take the same. Yeah, what happens if this is cash book, this is passbook. Let's say 10,000 deposited. Yeah, 10,000 deposited. Okay, in the cash book. 10,000 deposited into the bank, and that is recorded in the cash book. Okay, right. But the same is not recorded in the passbook as 10,000. It is supposed to be recorded here. It is not recorded. Okay, it is not recorded. 10,000 is supposed to be recorded. It is not recorded. So what happens? There is 10,000 balance as per cash book. There is no balance in the passbook. So what will you do? You have to add it, right? You have to add it. 10,000. Okay. A passbook balance is given, right? You have to add it. Let's say in the bank reconciliation statement, if you're starting the solution with a balance as per cash book favorable, or a balance as per passbook favorable, or balance as per cash book overdraft, or balance as per passbook overdraft. There are 4 options: cash book favorable balance, cash book overdraft balance, passbook favorable balance, passbook overdraft balance. 4 options. So it depends on which balance you're starting with. If you're starting with cash book favorable balance and trying to reconcile with passbook, okay, then what you have to do, you're trying to reconcile. What you have to do is whatever you have added, you will deduct it. Checks deposited but not collected, you will deduct it if you're starting your solution with cash book favorable balance. If you're starting your solution with the favorable balance of passbook, then you will give the opposite treatment. What? You will deduct this 10,000. I'm sorry, you will add this 10,000. You didn't add, but you have to add this 10,000. You have added only in the cash book. Okay, only in the cash book. The bank did not record it. So therefore, you will deduct it if cash book favorable balance is given. Because you have not recorded here, okay, you have to record it if passbook balance is given, right? That is the treatment for checks deposited but not credited or collected. If cash book favorable balance is given, deduct it. Okay, deduct it. Right. Less it. Okay, less it. If passbook favorable balance is given, you have to add it. Add it. Clear? Yes. Checks deposited but not credited. If cash book favorable balance is given, less it, deduct it. If passbook favorable balance is given, add it. Okay, add it. All right. Then next, what's the next reason? The next reason is yeah, reason number 2. What could be another reason for bank passbook and cash book to mismatch? Checks issued but not presented for payment. Checks issued but not presented for payment. Okay. Now, when you have issued check, let's say for 10,000, let's say 10,000 worth check you have issued. When you have issued, okay, you will credit to the cash book. Okay, you are reducing it. How are you reducing it? By crediting to the, okay, cash book. You are reducing it. And the same reduction has to be done in the passbook. Okay, where do you have to record, or where the banker has to record? He will record on the debit side, 10,000. But the same is not done. Same is not done. It is supposed to be recorded, but this is not recorded. Okay, right. Checks issued but not presented. If cash book favorable balance is given, okay, it is recorded only in the cash book, this amount, and not recorded in the passbook. What will you do in order to reconcile the cash book with the passbook? You will add back this. Checks issued but not presented is added. Okay, 10,000 is added to the cash book favorable balance, right? But if you are starting the solution with passbook favorable balance, okay, what you're supposed to deduct, you did not deduct, therefore deduct it less. It is to be deducted. Okay, it is to be deducted. Any confusion here? Any confusion here? Yes? Yes or no? Any confusion here?